Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and we're going to continue on with our Matthew journal. I got all my pages trimmed, and now I'm going to do some decoupage, but let me go through. I just need to make sure I have these right side up. Yeah. Let's see. So I hope everybody's having a nice craft day today. This one's misleading. The writing's upside down and the flowers, I feel like the flowers should go up. So I'm going to do it like that, but it actually could be either way. That. And that one could really go, I think it goes that way, but you could do it however you want. These definitely have a direction. And that one. And let's see, yeah, that one has a direction. So I'm just gonna get out my, let me do a little demo just real quick. Okay, so I'm going to assume there are some of you that have not done decoupage before. So let's see, where's the, there it is. I get napkins off of Etsy, and sometimes you can buy a bunch of different designs and just get a couple of each napkin. That way you don't have to buy whole packages. So this one I guess is an assortment. Oh, these are pretty. Okay, well I'm just going to take one for demonstration purposes. I really don't need to start any new napkins right now. I've got so many started. Let me show you. I keep them in this file folder with a clip on them, and these are just all the pieces of the different napkins that I've already torn apart. But I wanted to show you how to start with a new napkin in case you've never done it. So you open your napkin up, and I can tell this is a thick one, so it's probably got two, at least, well, yeah, 2 layers. Napkins are either 2 or 3 layers. And so you open it up to the back, take a piece of tape, it can be Scotch tape, washi tape. I happen to have this masking tape sitting here, so I'll use it. And you stick your tape to the back and you just tear it. And it pulls the layer off, and you can either throw it away or you can keep it. And I've used it, crumble it up with Mod Podge and kind of created textures, and then you can paint over it. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. I've got a whole bag of this though, so I'm going to throw mine away. Now this one I know has another layer. It's just very, I can feel it, it's thick. Sometimes you can't tell, so if you can't tell, just be real careful. But you definitely don't want to decoupage with one that's got 2 layers of paper. It just doesn't work very well at all. So see how that one comes off? And now you're down to your design layer. And so then what you want to do, always keep your acetate too, because we need that, right? I'm going to put it in my little acetate drawer. And I have this brush that I use all the time for Mod Podge, for decoupage. Put some water in a bowl here real quick. And if you get a brush in Mod Podge, you don't have to worry about it. Like if it's dried, it's not ruined. It'll wake back up in the water. So you can put it in water and soak it for a second, and it comes back to a regular brush. So what you want to do, now I'm going to get a separate brush, if I can find one here. And so to separate elements, because you don't normally just put the whole napkin on something, you might just want the butterfly. So you just wet a little brush and you just go around that with water. And then it will come out very neatly and give you a nice feathered edge if you got it wet like I should have. See how it just pulls off of there and gives you this nice feathered edge, so it makes it a really pretty decoupage. You don't want a straight edge. So that's how you get little pieces out. And I'm going to use this magnolia, and I don't really want the butterfly this time. And I kind of want an irregular edge. I don't mind that fern, but I don't want a straight edge. So I'm going to go ahead and tear that and get rid of that butterfly and tear this. Did I wet that? Yeah, I did. Okay, and then down here, I don't know if I did or not. So tear that, and I'm going to put that over this. I'll go ahead and leave this straight edge because I'm just going to leave it down here at the bottom. So then you need Mod Podge. This is a really, really old bottle that I keep reusing because I make my own Mod Podge now, and it is 2 parts white glue and 1 part water. That's all Mod Podge is. And so it's much cheaper to just make it yourself. When you do napkins, you can do tissue paper, and you know, like Tim Holtz makes that really cool tissue paper in rolls. Let me show it to you, like this. And it's tissue paper. So when you use tissue paper, it's kind of, it doesn't soak up the liquid like a napkin does. So you have to be sure you put the glue behind it when you glue it down. With a napkin, it's not as picky. It's so porous that you can always add the glue from the top down and it'll soak through and glue it on. But with the tissue paper, you got to be sure you get the glue behind it. So I usually put glue down a little bit, just I don't get real picky about it with the napkins, and then I count on it going through the top to really glue it down. So you want to get glue, put it in the middle of your image, pull it down and out like a star shape from the center gently. Now this over here, I'm going to hold it, lay that piece down there, and then you just work your way around. I'm still doing the star shape because that way you don't get as many wrinkles. You will get wrinkles, but I mean, and some are okay. It's just the nature of it. But you can smooth it out as much as you want to. Don't over wet it, because what happens, of course, on mine, it's going to smear my ink. But also, if you get it super wet, it will soak through the paper and soften your images on the back side, and you don't want to do that. So don't get too carried away. Plus, it takes a long time to dry when you do that. So I'm just going to get everything smoothed out. You want to take your time. I tend to get in a hurry, and then it'll tear eventually. Like you're dragging across here and it'll just tear the picture. So that's probably good. I do have a few wrinkles, but that's just the way it goes. And then when it's dry, you take a piece of sandpaper or a sanding block and sand it, because it gets really stiff and kind of doesn't feel good to your touch. But when you sand it, it will take off some of those wrinkled areas that are high, so it makes it look more aged, and it also makes it really soft. It completely changes the feel of it. So be sure you sand it. Okay, I'm going to stop on that one. So now that I've shown you about the napkin, I'm going to go to my pieces here and just start pulling out some pieces that I like, that feel like they go with this journal to me. Maybe, no, I might have one that's already torn. I think that, because it has purple. This always makes me think of Israel because they're olives. And that happens to be my favorite napkin, so I'll probably use that a good amount. That might work. I'll keep that out because there's a lot of desert over there. Okay, we'll see what that does. All right, so take this one. This is avocados, and I just like the greenery on this. And it looks like grapes maybe on that. Olives, I mean, sorry. So I'm not going to do a whole lot on this. I'm just doing a little bit just to add a little bit of something different besides the printing. The stenciling, I mean, sorry. All right, so I'm going to stop with that page and then take one of my, let's see. I actually don't think I want the avocado. I don't know that avocados are native to that part of the world, so I'm not going to do the avocado, but I'm going to do this sort of generic. And of course, this this paint is plastic. I mean, it's acrylic paint, so it's just waterproof, so you don't have to worry as much about getting it soaked through. Let's see, what else can I get off of here? Get that. Okay, I'll put that on there. I've got a straight edge, so I'll go ahead and put that up here. And I always try to keep in mind that most pages have corner pockets, or a lot of them do, and so I try not to waste too much time putting anything down here in this corner or this corner, because it gets covered up a lot of times. So I'm going to do this area here just because it's got a lot of white. And also, if you have not done napkins before, it's important to know that your napkins are only going to show on a white or light background. If you put them on a dark background, they will not show. So keep that in mind, because it just becomes transparent and melts into the background. So if it's a dark background, your image disappears. Go back and get those air bubbles out. I think I'm good for that one. I'm not going to do a whole bunch. Let's see, I'll do this lavender. It kind of lends itself to this page, doesn't it? And it has words in French. I'm going to leave them on there. We always love French. So I know it's kind of like, well, wait a minute, I thought we were doing the Middle East. Well, I know, but hey, I don't want to throw little French words out because they're so cute. So we're just having fun, right? So. So I was telling you on the other video about these connect groups we have at church. So I'm in another connect group that it's called Hearing God. And we're doing Dallas Jenkins' book called Hearing God. And it's really good. Makes you think. He's a very smart man. Our teacher told us that he could be compared to C.S. Lewis. So he's an American, has written a lot of books, and The Hearing God is one of his biggest, most popular books, I guess you could say. And we're looking into all the different ways you hear from God, because God is speaking, just whether we're tuning into him or not. And so you can hear him, even as you read the Bible, you'll get clearly that something is for you. This is for me, But But you can also, some people actually hear a voice. And anyway, all the different ways. So he's just exploring that, and it's a good book to study if y'all are looking for one. Okay, let's see what else do I have? I got this. I like this cactus. Okay, where's my... This actually feels like it's got another layer of paper on it. I bet it does. Sometimes you think you're down to the final one and it has that third layer, so I'm going to have to check it here in a minute. Oh yeah, I can even see that it is 2 layers. This is why it's good to use tape, because when you try to do it by hand, it takes a long time to grab it. Okay, much better. Okay, and I want to get this edge off here. Okay. Actually, I'll just leave that straight edge up there and let it be. Make sure I got the right side. Oh, I don't have a straight edge. I thought I had a straight edge. Okay. However, I'm still going to put it up to the top. You can always go back and trim it off after it's dry. It's easier to do when it's dry, so don't get too concerned about it till then. See how this is why you want to do that kind of star from the center out, because if you pull it all down, it really wrinkles a lot worse that way. So pull from a central point and it spreads the napkin out better. Ooh, that's more than I wanted to put on there. Let me spread that out. Okay. All right, let's see. What else have I got? Oh, this might be interesting. Okay, that's a pretty big. Let's see, do I want that on there? Do I want that on there? I think I'll put it on that one. And that one, I just said don't put it, don't worry about a corner, but if I put a corner on there, it'll still show this much. So I think I'll be all right. This is a big piece here. I don't usually use this big of a piece. Okay. Letting it come off the edge, or trying to. If you do happen to get a really big wrinkle that you don't like, you can still lift it. If you're really careful, you can pick it up and lift it and pull it. Really easy. I've got that doubled up. So like I said, you pull it up. See if I can get that to straighten out. No. Yep. Okay, I did. All right, well, that was a good illustration right there. You can gently fix things. Okay, try to get the air bubbles out as best you can. Okay, so now this is my favorite napkin, and I will try not to go crazy with it, but okay, I'm going to separate this, keep that word olive. And here we go again. I've got another corner. Oh well, I'm going to do it anyway. Maybe I'll put a belly band on that page. Well, did that one get folded over too? Or I'm just going to pull that off so it's not straight. I love how these things just blend into the backgrounds, and you can see that stamping right behind it. It looks really pretty. Okay, so there's that. This one I'm going to leave. It's pretty full and it doesn't really need anything. I mean, this one could use, I guess, maybe a little something. On these pages that I've used the jelly plate printing, I feel like having something, it's so abstract that I feel like having something, what am I trying to say, clearly illustrated, you know. I think it adds to it if you combine those together. All right, let me just separate these leaves out. I can put those wherever I need to. Also, you get these edges when you do the jelly plate where it didn't completely print because the plate's smaller than the paper. So you can do this to kind of disguise that too. That's a corner. I think I'll go ahead and I'm going to put all these on here, I think. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and do some more decoupage, and I'm going to end the video because I've basically shown you what I'm doing, and then I'll come back on the next one and we will, let's see, I think the next thing we're going to have to do is distress all of our edges. So I probably am not going to do a whole video on that, but I will come back with whatever comes after that probably. So anyway, if you're working along with me, you can get all your edges inked front and back, and then we'll be ready for the next step. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.